Hey guys, welcome to Heart to Talk, the podcast. I am the host and creator, Teresa Caesar. My intention for this podcast is to deliver to you wisdom, inspiration, and consciousness through solo episodes and conversations amongst insightful people. It is my greatest honor to bring to you talks that come from the heart. Welcome to another powerful episode of Heart to Talk. This one is a very special one as it marks the 100th episode. Reaching this milestone isn't just about hitting triple digits. It symbolizes a profound transformation and the inner milestones I have achieved along the way. Each episode represents stackable steps I've taken towards the growth for the podcast and myself. The level up has been parallel, for sure. As this podcast has evolved, so have I. With every conversation and every story shared, I've transformed and embraced new levels of understanding and connection. As I reflect on who I was becoming along the way, I'm reminded of the original intent behind creating Heart to Talk. It was born out of a deep need of something I needed for myself, a source of inspiration, a source of motivation, healing, connection, and community. I wanted to cultivate a space where I could learn to invite grace into my life, nurture unwavering faith, and develop bulletproof self-belief. This podcast has become a safe haven where those values are not only discussed, but lived out. Today, at episode 100, I feel a profound sense of alignment with the version of myself I've always aspired to be. Every breakdown has led through a breakthrough. My mistakes and pain has transformed into purpose and passion. My wounds have morphed into wisdom. As I play back episodes, I can vividly remember the moments surrounding those recordings of each of those episodes, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. I always showed up, committed to this podcast, and in return, the podcast committed to me. It became the one thing I could control amidst the things that were uncontrollable in life, the people that had left, the circumstances. While I couldn't always control the people or circumstance around me, I could always control what the podcast represented, how the podcast made me feel, and how the podcast made others feel. And that has been the greatest gift of all. And literally the cornerstone of everything that I believe and live out is it's about making the inner world more real than what's happening around you. And that is where the magic is and how to really move through unlocking new levels of ourselves and our growth and staying committed to the dream and the vision. And so this milestone and celebration is literally the celebration of all of us. As so many of you have been on this journey with me since day one, or maybe came in year two, or maybe just joining now, it doesn't matter. You're still part of the celebration because you're part of the community, whether you listen once or listen to every episode. So as we celebrate this milestone together, I encourage you to also share your voice, express your creativity, as it is so healing and so inspiring and impacts humanity on so many levels. The thing I have learned is that the dedication to my personal growth and my internal successes is what I have come to learn is the highest form of self-love. When you focus on becoming that better version of yourself on all levels, like especially behind closed doors when no one sees you, that is impact. That's how you change the world. People always want to know, how can I make an impact? How can I change? Gandhi said it best, be the change you want to see. Because what that does, it creates a ripple effect. My internal changes have not only affected my external world, but it has affected in the most positive ways those closest to me. What we think and who we are is contagious. So let's let this journey of growth and connection continue, knowing that each step we take enriches not only our lives, but the lives of those around us. Here's to the next level and all the possibilities that await from whatever you are doing every day towards a big goal you have. As you notice, the vibe and theme of this episode is all about milestones, right? Celebrating our wins and entering new levels. So I ask you, what milestones have you recently achieved as you're listening? It doesn't matter how tiny they may seem. Every step forward is worth celebrating. What I can tell you is this is episode 100, but I'm going to tell you, I was just as excited with episode 1 and 2, and every single one has been such a win because I know the energy and intent behind it. And it's all about also, like, when you get to that milestone or that achievement, is just savoring and honoring it. And you could be humble, but yet be proud of yourself. The podcast journey, although I'm connected to thousands of people, is actually a journey of solitude. I really sat in a lot of alone, quiet time, which was so powerful. I didn't even know that that's what I had to do, and who I had to become was a person who had embodied the power of solitude. For so many years of my life, external and collaborative decision-making was part of how I lived. External validation, leading me for my choices and decisions. And for once, the podcast and who I became along the way took the version of me that made the decisions on her own, trusted herself and believed in herself, and didn't let any other voices permeate or tamper with my decision making. And that's the power of anything that you want to integrate or change, or when you start working on personal development and the journaling and the gratitudes and the affirmations. Time to yourself is so important because you develop self-trust and psychological certainty and cognitive resilience. So as much as I rise to the occasions and I love to challenge myself, I also believe in honoring and celebrating the journey. Behind every achievement, there's hard work, determination, and perseverance. Reaching this 100th episode, again, isn't just about a number. It's about understanding the gifts that come with it. It's reverse engineering the process that got me here. So when you are thinking about something you're celebrating, how do you reverse engineer the process and celebrate that? That right there is where the magic is. Behind the scenes, consistency has been a game changer for me alongside other attributes like resilience, focus, and adaptability. As we approach this new year, I'm excited to continue expanding on these goals that I have and implementing new strategies for growth. Now, one thing I will say, we're listening to this January of 2025, new year, it's a new day, we're going to enter a new week. But really the point of when you listen to any episode, it's timeless and universal. So you can listen to this and implement anything that I am discussing. And so I want to share with you, as I am entering literally my next level digitally in the podcast, right? Triple digits, 100. I'm entering my next level of just greatness. My practice is creating a word of the year or a mantra or phrase. And so I asked myself this question I'm asking you: who do you need to become to get to your next level? And whatever it is that you desire, is it in your business, in your relationships, or maybe a blanket statement or a blanket word that will affect all areas? And so I want to share with you mine. What I do is I ask myself, who do I need to be? What energy do I want to cultivate to elevate myself to the next level? And this year, my mantra is, I'm all in. I've realized that in areas where I may have fallen short, it was often because I wasn't fully committed. But now I'm all in on my business. And I'm all in on my children when I'm with them. All in energy is present energy. I am all in on my relationships and connections. I'm going to make it a point to initiate meetups. I'm going to check in with those I love. I'm all in at work. I'm going to show up and be excellent. I'm all in on my fitness and my health. I'm all in. No more excuses, no more toe in the water. any of that. An all-in energy is going to get me to new levels. It's going to keep me focused, again, with determined action. So powerful. I invite you to join me with this powerful practice. Think about what word or mantra or phrase that resonates with you and what describes the energy you want to bring in this new chapter, in your next level. What's going to propel you forward as you enter this new day, a new week, a new month, and a new year. So let's let this journey of growth and connection continue, knowing that each step we take enriches not only our lives, but the lives of those around us. Here's to the next level, infinite opportunities, and all the possibilities that await from whatever you are doing every day towards a big goal you have. Let's embrace transformation and remember that every step forward is a reason to celebrate. Let's commit to knowing ourselves deeply, harnessing our energy, and stepping boldly into the greatness that lies ahead. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Please download, rate, subscribe, and share this podcast. Also, be sure to visit my website at teresacaesar.com to check out my inspirational merch, connect to my social accounts, and much more. May you continue to be filled with wisdom, inspiration, and consciousness. Otherwise, friends, I will be back in 2 weeks for another episode of Heart to Talk.